So Rell Seas has dropped some amazing changes. And honestly, these are the types of changes that makes Rell Seas so hyped up in the first place. Like, nobody asked for these changes, but it's most likely going to make the gameplay a lot better. And what I'm referring to is actually underwater exploration. They announced the 7 depths of the seas in Rell Seas, where you have different types of monsters on each depth. Now, how I'm assuming this is going to work is there's going to be 7 layers. The top of the ocean is most likely going to be layer 1, and the further you go down, you're going to get to layer 2 and 3 and so on. I don't think these are going to be physical layers, but more of just like different parts of the ocean. Maybe we'll give you like a little pop-up on the top of your screen when you enter a different layer. And as you go down further and further in the sea, you're going to run into more dangerous monsters, more powerful monsters, and they probably will drop better loot. For those that don't know, crafting is a big part of Rell Seas, so it will most likely be important things to help you craft and things of that nature. But you might be thinking, what is actually going to be in these layers? But they've actually already shown us. Now here's the first Sea King they showed us, and they actually recently confirmed this is the layer 3 Sea King. So this is most likely one of the weaker Sea Kings. It's not even going to be anything that crazy probably compared to the Sea Kings on layer 6 and layer 7. And that is something that is hard to comprehend because they actually showed us how big this Sea King is, and it's insane. I'll put the comparison on screen, but y'all can't tell me this isn't ridiculous. As you can see, you got the Sea King right there next to the biggest ship, so I assume that's the warship they told us about. And that same warship is the size of Bloxfruit's Islands, literally. So imagine an entire Bloxfruit's Island moving at you with it also looks like a shark, and it's scary. And do you guys see that little speck in the corner of the screen that says R6? That's a normal player right there. But I want you guys to actually imagine that in game. Imagine being that small, that minuscule compared to this Sea King that is literally like 200 times your size. Now what you guys also might notice is you got Sea Beasts in this photo as well. And Sea Beasts have already been confirmed for a while, but I'm assuming Sea Beasts are essentially just going to be a weaker version of Sea Kings, and they probably spawn more frequently. Like, I would assume a Sea Beast is a lot easier to solo compared to a Sea King. Is probably like an entire boss raid where you need a lot of people, because there's no way we just casually soloing Sea Kings. I really just don't believe it. Now they also revealed the layer 2 Sea King called Leviathan. Now unfortunately we don't have a size comparison for the layer 2 Sea King, but I would assume it's very close to the layer 3 Sea King. I actually think there's a very good chance all the Sea Kings are the same size despite what layer they're on. And the lower layer they're probably just stronger because they only put Sea King on the size comparison list. They didn't put a specific layer Sea King, but obviously that is just speculation. But I do want to point out how ugly this Sea King is on layer 2. They really did a good job at making this hard to look at, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if we being real, I would really drop kick the hell out of this Sea King if we being honest. But they also gave us a lot more information on how this whole underwater system is gonna work. So Railbad tweeted, Rell Seas depths to trenches underwater exploration. Movie 2, although it's not ready as of yet, it's going to blow your minds. Now before we move on, I do want to clarify, a lot of people think that because they said this movie 2 is in the works currently, I don't really think it is. I think they're just working on the game and they're just saying this is gonna be a movie 2, so movie 2 is gonna be crazy type of thing. But if they are already working on movie 2 and already filming and whatnot, hey, I'm not complaining. I'd be way more happier with that. And then after that, he said, we are trying to reach AAA quality gameplay. My bro and I are having fun designing missions and all. And that actually means a lot. For those that don't know what a AAA game is, it's essentially something like GTA 5 or Minecraft, essentially a game that has a lot of popularity, a big budget, and just a lot of backing behind it. And obviously the standard for a AAA game is a lot higher than something like an indie game or a Roblox game or even your average Steam game. But with that being said, I wouldn't expect Rell Seas to actually reach that quality, but even if they get close, that's really a big W. But they said a lot more than just this. They also said some Subnautica inspiration. And for those that don't know what Subnautica is, it's essentially a game that is all based on underwater exploration. And people really like Subnautica. That's a 10 out of 10 on Steam. 97% of people like this game on Google. In general, I guess think of it as like the pinnacle of underwater exploration games, or really just underwater games in general. So if they had similar sea monsters, similar systems, and overall just make it feel like Subnautica, this underwater exploration is gonna be insane. Now next, Railbad said they're gonna be showcasing gameplay and progression in movie 2 as well. And that's actually big news because initially I believe that was supposed to be in movie 3. Now I believe in one of the devlogs they said they might just cancel movie 3 and only do 2 movies, so that might be what we end up getting because obviously that was initially supposed to be in movie 3. But they also did give us a lot of information on progression. The first thing they talked about is the level system. Now as you guys might have noticed, players do have a level above their head like any other game, but he actually clarified what exactly that means. Railbad said that character grade is the official level type system. The levels above the character's head are a visual guide to track your character grade. And then he said grade is tracked through game progression. And I'm still not 100% sure what he means by this, but I'm assuming it might be something similar to like Type Soul. And for those that haven't played Type Soul, instead of having levels, essentially you have a grade like elite grade or semi-elite grade and things like that. And I think it even like Peroxide, you have like A, B, and C and ranks like that. And essentially your level would just be showing how close you are to the next grade. So maybe you're going from like grade A to grade S, and your level is essentially how close you are to getting getting to that grade. So maybe you grade up at level 100 and level 80 is showing your 80% to grade S. Now I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm kind of understanding from this tweet. Now Rell also made a tweet kind of about progression as well. He said Rell Seas is the type of game where locations aren't level locked. You could go to C2 if you figure out how to as a new player, for example. And this is kind of what Rell Seas is very focused on, letting the player do kind of whatever they want. In most games on the platform right now, like Block Shoots for example, they all have very specific requirements. Like you can't go to C2 until this level, you can't go to the next island until this level. But in Rell Seas, they allow you to literally go everywhere. It's up to you. Now this doesn't mean you're not going to get whooped if you go somewhere you're not ready for. This really just means it's up to you. And I think the whole point of this is just to make the game feel more free and not like a forced linear progression, which has kind of been their whole point with Rell Seas. Now I feel like if today's information taught us anything, it's fishmen are going to be very strong or maybe even OP in this game. For those that don't know, you have the choice to pick any race you want. I believe there's cyborg, mink, fishman, and human. And obviously if you don't plan on eating a fruit, I don't know why you wouldn't go fishman, considering sea exploration is going to be a big part of this game. And I would assume the ability to swim underwater faster and the ability to most likely breathe underwater is going to be very useful. Now you might be thinking, how are you even going to explore underwater if you're not a fishman or you're a devil fruit user, for example? And they haven't confirmed exactly how, but I think it's relatively obvious. The main two ways in One Piece they actually went underwater is either through the bubble system, which is essentially like a coat of oxygen, or through this barrel system, which is kind of like scuba gear. And I feel like this literally has to be in the game, because how else would people explore all the way down to layer 7 if they have a devil fruit, if they don't have one of these, or they're just even a human? I mean, you can't breathe underwater forever. And I would be very surprised if they restricted all of this content to only Fishman. But also considering they're taking inspiration from Subnautica, I also think there's a very high chance you could bring your ships actually underwater. In One Piece, you're able to actually bring your ship underwater by coding it, and that's also how you get to Fisherman Island in One Piece. And for those that don't know, Fisherman Island is also confirmed. We already got a Neptune boss, which literally confirms the existence of Fisherman Island. Now I believe Fisherman Island is actually at the bottom of the ocean, so it will most likely be in layer 7. And judging by how big this underwater exploration part sounds like, I'm assuming Fisherman Island is going to be huge. I mean, they've already told us that parts of the game like Impel Down are going to be huge, so I really don't see a reason why Fisherman Island wouldn't be as well. And I'm also low-key hoping there's like mini Fishman civilizations spread around the map, so Fisherman Island isn't the only Fishman civilization. But that's not even necessary. I just think it would be cool. Now I think the craziest part about all of this is this whole system almost feels like an entirely different game. Like, judging by how they're describing it, it sounds like you could really take this part of the game and make it a completely separate game. So the fact that that's just one of the many things that are going to be in this game is insane. Now if I do sound a little weird this video, I did just get my wisdom teeth removed a few days ago, but I believe, honestly, I think I'm sounding pretty good. You guys let me know. But my teeth definitely still hurt sometimes, but it's definitely good enough that I feel like I could record and probably even stream. So I'll probably be streaming this weekend if y'all are interested in pulling up, or maybe even tomorrow. But if you guys want to do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, it's free and it makes a massive difference in the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it. And only like 25% of y'all are subscribed, and if y'all all subscribed, I get a plaque, so I'd appreciate it. Thank y'all, love y'all, later.